Oh. Okay. Let's see if we can. Hey, Josh Rowe, Liam Chrome Bison. I'm back. I'm back. We had a little problem. We were having a little problem with the entire system having what we would call a critical system failure. It was a crash. YouTube didn't shut us down. Got us back up and running, so I thought I'd come back. What's my favorite horror movie anthology? Oh, probably Creep, the original Creep Show. I mean, it's got so many great moments, man. Can you give a song recommendation? Yeah, that doesn't mean I'll play it, but you can give the recommendation. Acid Witch Swamp Spells. Oh, yeah, you've been recommending that for a while. All right, we'll put that in the... Whatever. You know what? We'll put that in the queue. Oh, man. So how are you doing now? Fluffy? What does that mean? Did a cat go by? Sometimes that fucker gets by me. Little asshole. You're the third-party Transformers figure, DX9. Oh, the DX9 Astro Train, dude. Let me make sure that's the one I'm thinking of. Oh, it's not exactly the one I was thinking of, but it is a cool one. Yeah, the one I really want is the Fan Toys Thomas.
When the laws of entropy touch, you better dread the judge. Wiser men than us been crushed to find dust. When a fortune cookie dummy unfucked, I just shrug. A note like a broken electrical pole song. For the done, for the scum of the circuitry on the run. Haven't seen the sun with the naked eye much. So the neon is my god.
Let's see if I can bring that one up.
Okay, ready. Work ain't been too steady. I'm headed purpose, something heavy. If you get the credits, I'm for the crime of the century. Morality's only a memory when belly's empty. Swine get they high mind, focus on taking mine. Get in line, swine. You won't deny me my
Yeah, this is the one I'm like lusting after.
Don't comply. I'll supply a deletion. The end is nigh.
Yeah, it's like a big one. It's about like that big.
I used to pray to God, but I think he took a vacation. Cause now the state of Cali is ran by
And
the skyscraper shadow, the homeless.
I might have to get. There's some knockoffs of this thing that maybe I'll get one of those.
And we the mercenaries at war with the active agents. The legislators that work for the sadists that kill the babies. Would die in the back of a bullet built on Mercedes. Just to serve.
You know, like he's super like animation accurate. You know, the train mode looks right. The shuttle mode looks right. You know, I'm really into it. Let's see, what's he going for on the fucking AliExpress? Yeah, it looks like I can get a knockoff of a pretty good knockoff of that figure for like $86. I feel a little weird getting like knockoff of a knockoff, but like, whatevs. Fuck you. I'll save some money. As long as I get the figure. Like if I don't get the figure, I'll go be pissed. If I give you $80 and you don't give me shit, I'm gonna be mad. Yeah, shipping would be a bitch. Shipping would be like $32. But oh, this is pretty cool. But I can't be buying any new Transformers at this point. I've got to be saving up money for more Babylon artwork. So if you want to donate money, it will be going to that. Well, that and my car repairs. Which, let me tell you, that's a bitch. I don't want to have to be doing that shit, but I got car repairs now, and I got to deal with them. Haven't even gotten the estimate, but it's going to be over $2,000 easy. You know, I'm familiar enough with the repairs that have to be done that I'm like, I know it's going to be at least that much. So if you got a couple extra bucks, like, hanging out in your wallet, not doing anything, consider donating it to me, because I can use it either way. But yeah, thanks for sharing the Astro Train thing, man. You know, like, as you know, I'm really into them robots in disguise. Yep, love them robots in disguise. Yeah, I need my tray fitty. In fact, let's see. Where's that? Yeah, let's get old Loch Ness Monster up here. So if you're thinking of donating, even $3.50 will fucking help. There it is. Transformer, I might be interested in memes. Cat girl, I'm so scared whenever you fucking post something. Like, I'm terrified. This guy needs to get that continuous burping looked at. You talking about me, or? Oh, what happened to the stream? Oh, fucking, the whole system crashed. That wasn't YouTube shutting us down or anything. Literally, like, everything went down. Everything on my end just went down for a bit. I wasn't actually sure that we were going to get back up. Oh, the guy singing. Okay, let's see. God damn it, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, I was going to look at that meme. All right, let's look at that meme. It's going to be horrible, I know. Aww. That's both disgusting and cute, is Optimus Prime toilet holder. Or rather, it looks like a toy Optimus Prime someone has turned into a toilet holder. See that? That's what it is. That's what it be. Note their excellent craftsmanship. All right, let's put Trey Fitty back up. Come on, Trey Fitty. Make daddy some money. I know who drew this cartoon. It certainly wasn't the blonde artist. Man, I actually like your cartoon style, man. It's good, it's quick, it's expressive. You know, that's A+. Got into an argument once about the difference between illustration and cartooning, where I was like, no, cartooning is different from illustration. Like, cartooning is about simplification. It's about simplifying form. Illustration is about, what was the word I used? Illustration is much more highly detailed. The art of illustration has things in the main thing that the cartooning and illustration have in common is storytelling. You know, they have that storytelling element in common. But with illustration, you're trying to make it as sumptuous as possible. You're trying to make it as there's an actual word for it. It's not verisimilitude. It's not realistic. But it is a sort of, what was I can't remember the word I used. But like it's definitely more highly detailed. Whereas in cartooning, you're simplifying. You're getting it down to its basic element. Its most basic elements. Which isn't to say that there isn't a fair amount of crossover. But that to me is the key difference. Simplification versus visual glory, maybe? I can't remember. There is an exact word. Let's bring out this thesaurus.
I know you're there. I can hear you breathing. You can't hide from me.
I guess I'll just go with resplendence. Yeah, you're going for a resplendence in illustration. You know, they both have their, excuse me, they both have their pros and cons. The con of illustration is usually, it's more complicated and takes longer. You know, it just does. You know, yeah, I think maybe the word for I was trying to use for illustration was grandiosity. That's almost all art. A magic trick that makes you see more than brushstrokes. Yeah. But there's still a difference. There's still a like, for instance, like there is. Trying to come on, let's find a good one.
Next evolutionary step was to live in the machine, play reality and dream, natural and bionic means. Life caught in a stream with screenshots with memories, evidence of a time when we
Nah, I can't use that one. It's too small. No, that's AI. Fuck that. Wait, I know.
that pulls you out of mazes. Walk if you can't run. Learn your lessons. There's no telling when the road becomes essential. Mind like creator gets broader. Mind like creator restores you. Mind like creator makes you a transformer. Turn chaos into order.
Yeah. We'll just go with this one. Not the greatest example, but actually, it's a really good example. So I'll just.
Bright lights in the skies linked to human origins. Search the warmth that feels so cryptic oracles. Old grown spines set to mimic ancient obelisks. Guide me as I navigate through cold metropolis. Gasping under heavy smog. Voice hoarse.
Like, this is an illustration.
The cold call. When I react, atomic hydrogen and old war. Past generations fear disarming us. We're on course. Smashing atoms. Winding back the common clock from digital to analog. Dancing round fires like it's equinox. Dancing round fires like the chanting down of Babylon. Nanobot rebellion. Extinction of the humanoid. Run if you can't fly. The string that pulls you out of mazes. The same game.
You know, like, this is an illustration. You know,
Learning lessons. Never guessing when the road will change direction. Mind like creator.
whereas that is a cartoon. This is cartoon. This is cartooning.
Transformer, turn chaos into order. Mind like creator gets broader. Mind like creator restores you.
Like, there's not only a stylistic but kind of a quantitative difference in what they're doing. You know, illustration can't do what cartooning does, and cartooning can't do the thing that illustration does. But they're both forms of visual storytelling. You know, and the thing is that it's not just a stylistic difference. There's actually a quantitative. There's actually a quantifiable difference. Okay, that's not an illustration. That is a blank screen. There we go. That's better. Illustration can establish a much more subtle mood. Whereas cartooning is more exaggerated. No, this is not. This is obviously inspired by Blade Runner, but it is not. It is for the cover of a cyberpunk supplement about the book series When Gravity Fails, which is an amazing series of books. It's about a red light district in a futuristic Islam. You know, and the big technology that everyone, there's cyber technology all over the place, but the big one of the story are called the Mahdi's, which are chips that give you a completely different personality. Yeah, animation needs to be more exaggerated, you know. But I'm not just talking about animation. I'm talking about cartooning in general. But it also applies to animation. Have you seen the When Gravity Fails RPG for Cyberpunk 2020? Well, yeah, we're just talking about it. Yeah, I own it. I've done everything except run it. Like, one of the big, like, When Gravity Fails, for those of you who don't know, the big technological breakthrough might be the Moddies, but the second technological breakthrough that's really important is transgenderism. Like, they essentially get it to the point where it's nearly indistinguishable.
Original deadly and tobacco on your case again. That's right. Yo, yo. If it's war, then we're ready. Whatever necessary. Somebody bound for bury. Make we sing them like a ferry. No time for dilly dally. In the dark in my valley. Hunt them through the valley. Burn them out just like me Cali. Them no know the half. Get a youth. Who them pressuring. Them a make we laugh. Them no know that we are going. Them a kill we are. But we still living. Them a kill we are.
You know, Cyberpunk has had transgenderism in it from basically the beginning. It was one of the few genres that actually got really in depth with it. Like the first book, When Gravity Fails series, called When Gravity Fails, really gets into it deep. And not from a technological level, but from a societal level.
Very near. If it's war, then we're ready. Whatever necessary. Somebody bound for bury. Make we sing them like a ferry. No time for dilly dally. In the dark in my valley. Hunt them through the valley. Burn them out just like me Cali. Them no know the half. Get a youth. Who them pressuring. Them a make we laugh. Them no know that we ain't going. Them what kill we are. But we still living. Them what kill we are. No we not giving. Them no know the half. Get a youth. Who them pressuring. Them a make we laugh. Them no know that we ain't going. Them what kill we are. But we still living. Them what kill we are. No we not giving. Long time we've been a victim. Caught up in a system. Every day a bloodshed. War I'm predicting. The youths need uplifting.
You know, it's a really good series. Anyway, can you share satanic protection prayer? Sure. How do you intend to share it?
Stop make the innocent youth go astray. If it's war, then we're ready. Whatever necessary. Somebody I go ferry.
Well, yeah. The funny thing is, it's actually a good primer on. It's a fictional primer, but it's actually a fairly detailed primer on all the stuff that goes into gender reassignment. You know, I don't know if you strictly need game rules for that, although it does, you know, but what I did like is that it had that detail to it. You know, things about like brow line and jaw shape, and one of the big ones, which is the only real way that people in the world can tell whether someone is transgendered and it's not 100% is their hands, because men tend to have larger hands. Whereas women's hands tend to be smaller and a little more delicate looking. Yeah, go ahead, Sun Wizard. But yeah, like I found all of that fascinating, and that they would put that in an RPG book was kind of amazing. I mean, it kind of shows like what kind of a Wild West it was back in the 80s and 90s. And I think it actually does need to return to that kind of like Wild Westness. It needs to get back to that a little bit, especially now. I think a lot of things do, actually. You know, a little bit more like, you know, like shooting from the hip. You know, getting involved in controversial in strange and controversial ideas. You know, like one of the things that pisses me off about like young conservatives is that they're trying to steal transgression away from everybody else. They're trying to claim that they are transgressive, that saying the N-word and saying the R-word and fucking just getting out there and telling the truth, man, is transgressive. But the thing is that they're not telling the truth. They're lying. They're knowing and willfully lying and using junk to support what they're saying. It's not transgressive. It's conservative. You can be one or the other. You're either being transgressive or you're being conservative. You know, because what's the transgression against? It's against the status quo. And what's conservatism all about? It's all about the status quo. It can seem strange in that it can be a big question of whose status quo. But to be transgressive, to be truly transgressive, is to have a sort of bravery that borders on madness. And they are not brave people. If they were brave people, they wouldn't have to talk about how fucking good they are in a fight and how many weapons they have and like we'll win in a civil war. Like, no, brave people don't talk like that. That's the language of cowards. That's the language of cowards. You know, whatever has happened has destabilized you, and you're putting on a show of strength because you're afraid. You know, people with the kind of maddening strength that it takes to be truly transgressive tend to be pretty calm in those situations. You know, there are other things that they are afraid of. You know, and I'm going to be honest, while I think it is very laudable for people to want to show empathy and try to win them over, that's not my fucking job. That's not my fucking job. You know, there's a level of bullshittery I just don't tolerate. Yeah, I can't be a bigoted asshole out in public. Why must I be so oppressed? Yeah. You know, one thing I'll say about the quote-unquote social justice warrior shit is they're annoying. They can be annoying, but they're generally not going to take your shit away. Conservatives will take your shit away. they'll take their shit away, talk about how oppressive they are when they're not, and then fucking congratulate themselves on the bravery to be afraid of something. You know, that's why I don't like them. Man. There was also, like, a huge amount. Like, we're talking about things that are cyberpunk adjacent. The urban fantasy movement was revolutionary because it had so much queerness in it. Because they were talking about the punk movement. And the punk movement had a lot of queerness in it. Punk and goth movements had a lot of queerness in them. You know, accepted as part of everything. Yeah, we stand against cancel culture. We have no issue censoring mass media for the children. Fuck you. You know, you ask me which is worse, cancel culture or outright censorship. Outright censorship is worse. Always. 100% every time. You know, I really think that, like, I've been saying this for the last few streams, but I'll say it again. I think everyone's got to really get back in touch with the spirit of rebellion. The spirit of being rebellious. You know, yeah. This will talk smack about the Red Scare despite conservatives being the main starters and supporters of it, including John Wayne and Ayn Rand. Yeah. No. That's how you know they're evil. They'll do or say whatever unscrupulous or immoral thing they have to win. That's what evil is. It's just all about winning. You know, whatever that fucking means in whatever context. It's also why we associate evil with egotism, because that is absolutely egotism. Yeah, John Wayne, the cowboy actor, he was a piece of shit. Yeah, he was a piece of shit. He tried to have, like, an indigenous activist beaten up at the Oscars. Kiss my ass. Motherfucker thought he was a cowboy. Fuck you, John Wayne. Fuck the Duke. Just because he was into some good just because he was in some good movies doesn't mean I have to like him as a person. Hell, I love Polanski flicks. I still think he's a piece of shit. Oh yeah, there's a huge amount of history. There is so much history in everything you don't even realize. You know. And why don't you realize? Well, people don't want you to. Because it's upsetting to certain people. Those certain people being like conservative status quo assholes. You know. You know, are there good status quo people? Sure, but they're too busy maintaining the world that you live in to fucking do this shit. And they're suffering too. But I will never accept I was doing my job as an excuse for evil. As an excuse for putting your efforts to what you know are evil purposes. I just don't accept it. I'm like, nah, sorry. Sorry, no. Unless you were forced at literal gunpoint. I mean, like, obviously that's different. Was it proven that the woman was indigenous? Actually, wasn't really that. No, it was not. That is a lie. No, that is a lie. That is an absolute fucking lie. Oh, the Fassbender Denzel version of Macbeth is amazing. Yeah, I would put it up against Polanski's. I mean, they're very different. You know, they're very different. But, I mean, in terms of just, like, quality of filmmaking, I'd put them against each other easy. I'd put them against each other any day. You know? Yeah, and yet one does not detract from the other. That's the other thing that I really like about it. Like, the one with Denzel and Fassbender was not trying to be the Polanski version. It was trying to be a very different version, and it was really good. One thing I would definitely say that the Denzel Fassbender version did better than the Polanski version is the way it did transitions. The way it transitioned from scene to scene was more elegant. The Polanski version is a bit rough as far as the transitions are concerned. You know. Because there was a little bit more focus on shock value in the Polanski version. Oh, I haven't seen the Patrick Stewart one. Yeah, I liked how elegant and dream-like the Fassbender Denzel one was. Whereas the Polanski one is definitely intended to assault your senses. Like, they're doing different things. You know, when people talk about death of the author, I always thought that was really stupid. Because I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, that's a really stupid, long-winded way of saying sometimes assholes make really beautiful art. You need to accept this. Can the evil man have a beautiful soul? Yes. Yes. Yes, they can. What's most upsetting is when they don't. Because it's so fucking weird. Most people have either beautiful or underdeveloped souls. They don't have this pit of nothing. Most people do not have a pit of nothing where we would say the soul was. But they exist. They exist. They walk among us. One of them's president. Coppola's an easier one to talk about than Salva. Because I think Victor Salva's soul is disgusting. I don't know if I would go so far as to say he doesn't have one, but I find what he reveals on the screen to be disgusting. Coppola has a beautiful soul. Coppola is also an asshole. You know, Victor Salva, what his art reveals about him, I do not like at all. I am actually disgusted by it. Oh, I have a huge amount of respect for Francis Ford Coppola as a filmmaker. That's easy for me to separate. I don't have to go through the intellectual justification of death of the author, But I guess some people do because they're not emotionally intelligent. I don't know what else to call it. Sofia Coppola is also a really good artist. So is Asia Argento. She is a great artist. But she's got some problematic shit going on. She did have sex with a teenage boy when she was in her late 20s. Whether she actually raped him, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced if she actually raped him, but she definitely had sex with someone who was under 18. But they were a teenager. She wasn't having sex with a little kid. And there is a difference. One is a little gross. The other is despicable. Of course, if she actually raped him, that's a completely different situation. But that whole story is weird. It's monstrous to write about? What's monstrous to write about? Yeah, see, I don't think any writing is monstrous. I think writing may reveal monstrousness, but I don't think it in and of itself is monstrous.
fall back if your casting calls are ending and seamless.
Coppola knew what went down with Salva in his own house, legally protected him and punished his victim. Oh, see, I don't know that part of the story. And by Coppola, I'm assuming you mean Francis Ford.
No need for any evaluations. I'm a fouler from Johnson and Jimmy spraying faces. Any cow that is sacred will get to face it. Like any time a murder gets replaced it. Face it, the fellows at the top are likely rapists.
You know,
Like mellow out, man, just relax. It's really not that complicated. Well, part of me, I guess I'm just as sane as you explain it. Or maybe sanctifying the sadistic is deranged.
This run the juices, murder, mayhem, melodic music. Psychotic use it to lose it. Junkies simply
oh, actually,
that's worth the filler. See my heart and I'm
because the camera slipped, I need to do it like this.
smell like a
Hold on.
pound when they put me in a coffin. The gates of hell, I'm pugnaciously pacing, waiting. I give
Yeah, that Coppola? Okay, cool.
and be patient. But I ain't
Yeah, I didn't know that part of the story.
taking vacations and tell them fuck 'em. I
Well,
never
Francis Ford Coppola's movies are still beautiful, but he's a bigger monster now. You know, do you like documentaries? That film format was created by Nazis. Literal Nazi. Leni Riefenstahl, female Nazi, is responsible for the modern documentary format. Absolutely responsible for it. She created it. She created the template that everyone used. And that is still used to this day. Hey, chat, was it like a Rusty Venture and Nikki Fichtel situation? I don't know who Nikki Fichtel is. I don't know that happened in seasons of Venture Brothers I haven't seen. Hold on. I have to watch the episode to be sure, but I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be too surprised. I wouldn't be too surprised if it turns out like that plot line is exactly it. You know, like, you know, hands up if you are in any way male and had sex with an older woman when you were willingly had sex with a woman when you probably were too young. I've also been in a situation where I technically would have been raped if I wasn't into it. And that's one of them things. That's one of them funny things. People are like, oh my God, were you sexually assaulted? And I'm like, well, if I hadn't been into it, yes. If I had said no and it continued, it would have been yes. Then I would have been. But I didn't, and I was. Very different. Willingly? No. There's willingly is the operative word there. That's I'm. Oh, sounds like there's a tail there. Ooh, yikes. Yeah, it's different when it's different when. Yeah, it's way different when you don't wanna. It's way different. Not straight enough for this conversation. Well, I mean, if you're gay, you can apply it to a dude. Well, yeah. Like there's a I think one of the big things is that there was never a power imbalance in anything that happened to me. It wasn't like I was fucking a teacher. It wasn't like they were my boss or anything like that. It was literally two people who wanted to do something and they did. Just one was a bit older. And the one, me, in that instance, probably a little young. But a little young is like me being 17, having sex with a woman in her 30s. You know, I don't see. One of the problems. I think the biggest problem we have when the gender roles are reversed, like if the girl had been 17, the guy had been 32, is you expect a man to be able to attract a woman his own age. That's part of it. We assume that is a thing that should happen. And I'm not defending it, by the way. And the other is how we treat sexually active young girls in general. It's very bad. It's very bad. Being a sexually active young boy is comparatively easy. You know, all the risk is within the activity itself. It's not in the social consequences. Yeah, be gone, jailbait. Oh, yeah, I was total jailbait. And honestly, I am being a little bit of a hypocrite. I'm a little bit of a hypocrite on this because, yeah, I do find it disturbing when a 30-year-old guy dates like a 16-year-old girl. I do find it more disturbing. I do find it more upsetting. You know, I'm not. Yeah. I do find it upsetting. It does upset me. Yeah, younger guy, older woman, I have less of a problem with. older. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. But older is like. I knew too many guys who were in their late 20s, early 30s who dated teenagers. Like, I would never say that we were friends, but I knew them. You know, I knew them. And it was like, oh no, they're no good. There is a bit of a difference when the genders reverse on that. And I know that, and if you want, and I know that's a hypocrisy. But I don't know if you can actually equate the two for a multitude of reasons. Which is also fucked up. Let's see. There's been recent attitudes against it, though it might be nonsense spread by Gen Z women preferring millennial men because most of the men they date are far right. Oh, yeah. Well, you got to remember also, right now, Gen Z also includes people in their early 20s. A lot of people in their early 20s. In fact, anyone who's in their early 20s now. You know, like, and so that becomes different. Like, I don't know how to say it. Once you've crossed that high school, college threshold, like, the rules do change a bit. Yeah, the rules do change a bit once you've crossed that border, that invisible border. They say that whether or not she was from a particular tribe or not, I'm pretty sure a native person is allowed to speak on native subjects. Yeah, if you're under 30, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't date someone in their 20s. Like that, it would feel weird. Happy birthday, Perry. Happy birthday. Oh man, completely different subject. Looks like someone actually made like freight car transformers for the third party, one of the third party Astro trains. That's cool. At least it looks like they're transformers. They do transform, right? Do they transform or not? You know what? I can't tell. I mean, I don't mind if there's extra train shit, but I can't tell. Hold on. Let us go to YouTube. See if we can find a review of that shit. Because if these cars don't transform, I don't see the point.
What's up, YouTube fans? Today we'll be unboxing and taking a look at the MHZ Toys Transport Officer, an add-on kit for the Fans Toys Thomas, their version of Astro Train. So this was sent to me by Michael Rogers. Thanks for sending this for review. And maybe it's to connect the trail. I was shocked.
You get a train track. I mean, that's kind of cool. But like, what's with these little robot guys?
Train warning lights or whatever they are. Has a rail slide onto there to the site. I really like that. I don't know, there's something cool about that. This guy, have him holding. It does fit perfectly in the Fans Toys Quietus hand. Obviously, because it was designed for this hand. So you can have him holding this, but it does not fit in the Fans Toys Thomas hand.
Wait, he doesn't fit in the Fans Toys Thomas? That
take
doesn't.
This off, take that off. We can probably transform this guy. See what it looks
What's
like.
the?
I don't even know if I need a full review.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
doing this right here.
Oh, it's a little Target
Plate
Master
of
guy.
metal.
But why the fuck?
And it is identical. It's basically exactly the same design. Awesome. I love it. Pulling because he doesn't.
Okay, this is pointless. That toy is pointless. To me, anyway. Sorry, Jane Sub, what's the difference between right hand path, left hand path in your opinion? The right hand path is the path of right is traditionally the path of righteousness or forthrightness. The left hand path is sneakier. The left hand path means you're willing to be sneaky. You're willing to be tricky. You know, that's what I feel. When I was 20, I accidentally hooked up with a woman who turned out to be a German language professor at my university. She was in a different department, so I didn't know she worked there. Oh, oops. Yeah, a little awkward. But I mean, Yeah, that shit happens, man. Shit happens. Hope everything went okay. I don't know if that answers your question there, Sun Wizard, but to me, the left-hand path is the path of illusion and trickery, whereas the right-hand path is the path of forthrightness. You know, and I think you need both. I think you can get farther with both than you can with just one. At least she wasn't a Nazi. Always hard to tell with them German language people. You know. Gets a little tricky. Oh, boy. Oh, the thing about monoculture. Yeah, social media is monoculture. I don't know if you noticed, but it's taken the place of the global culture, that social media. Oh, she was Japanese? She just taught German? This is when you were an exchange student in Kyoto. Oh yeah, you gotta be careful of them Asian women. They look real young. Yeah, I'm of the opinion that social media is the monoculture. The monoculture has been hijacked by the algorithm, but it's still there. It's still very there. Well, kind of. A lot of people have opinions. They don't always make sense, and your answer didn't really clear it up. The right-hand path is the path of the paladin. The left-hand path is the path of the road. That's the best way I can put it. That's the simplest way I can put it. It's not necessarily good and evil, although people like to put it that way. Because the truth is that either one can be evil. I mean, we think of a paladin as like, you know, a force for ultimate good. You know, but think about it. Is it really? Making another movie based on Unit 731? I mean, okay. That's better? Okay. There we go. You know, and yeah, that's my thought on the modern monoculture. You know, if you want to get really deep into it, I think the modern monoculture is the algorithm. Yeah, one is the hero, the other is the anti-hero. Yeah, that's another way of putting it. Yeah, either one, but they fuck up bad enough, they become the bad guy, become the villain. Oh! Hello! Look who's here! Come here, come here. Whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, there we go. Come on, you want to say hello to everybody? You want to say hello to everybody? Say hello. No, look over there. Look over. Oh, little puppy. Yeah, sorry, I don't have a big belly, so you can't stand on it. I'm sorry. He's looking for treats. Give treats to the dog, you know what you get? Fat dogs. And now he wants... No, I'm going to keep you in here because I don't want you eating the cat food. I know cat food is the greatest treats, but I'm not giving them to you. Yeah, that's right. That's right. There was Massimo. Oh, man. He's a good dog, but... Oh, okay. I'm going to get myself another coffee. You sit here and groove on tunes. Someone found Jesus. Who's finding Jesus? That motherfucker's got some shit to answer for. Little Filipino is Catholic already. Oh, he did malicious witchcraft. Yeah. Consorting with them dark spirits. Throwing them curses. Talking about great-great-grandfather. Oh, man, that's interesting. Should learn more about him. Oh, he was a flat-out warlock? That's kind of tits. He wasn't even like a shaman or anything. He's a straight-up warlock. Apparently he had a familiar. Oh, damn. What was it? Oh my God, he switched to Seventh-day Adventist. Wait, how did you guess that? Yeah, I'm very interested in this familiar, like what form it had. It lived in a tree. Ooh. Was it a jenglot? Jenglot's actually more Indonesian, but lived in a tree. That's cool. That's kind of cool. What curses was he known to have cast? There are a fair bit of tree beings in the Philippines. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm not as familiar with Filipino folklore as I am with some others. I mean, I don't know nothing. But compared to like Chinese or Japanese folklore, I don't know as much. Boils and rashes. Ah. Sizable amount of Filipinos are Seventh-day Adventists. Oh, I did not know that. I'll have to file that away. I'll have to file that in my memory bank. That's interesting. You know, completely different topic. I was really disappointed you couldn't bang the trans girl in Cyberpunk. They really should have done that. They really should have let that happen. Well, I mean, they wouldn't have had to just let it happen. They would have had to have, like, fucking actually, like, scripted that whole thing. But I'm still annoyed it didn't happen. You know, it should have been one of those. I mean, in the world, it's treated as transitioning is just considered a thing that happens. You know, which I think is cool. But it would have been nice to have that in the game. Like, we don't need. She didn't need to be like. She didn't even need to be like a chick with a dick. She could have been like full on. No, but it still would have been cool to just be like, yeah, sure, like, let's go, you know? Especially since she's like, always possibility for DLC. I would love a DLC that gave you more romance options in that game. Yeah, because there are really only... There are like 6 sex options, but only like 3, I think it's 3 relationship options. No, there's 4, but one of them is gendered. Like, you cannot have a romantic relationship with Judy. She's just a lesbian. All the others are bisexual. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I know, Let's see, Cyberpunk 2077 romance. Mechanics, requirements, okay. Character, Judy Alvarez. Romance requirements, feminine body, feminine voice. Pan Am Palmer. Oh, Pan Am is straight. Okay, you need a masculine body for that. Okay. Oh, actually, they're all gendered. Well, then it would have definitely have been cool to have Claire be in there, and you could have made her the bisexual one. Okay, so Carrie Uridine, you have to be masculine. You have to be masculine. River, you have to be feminine. Pan Am, you have to be masculine. And Judy, you have to be feminine. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Cyberpunk doesn't have as many romance options as fucking Baldur's Gate does. I'm surprised none of the options are like fucking bisexual. I would have thought that'd have been dead cert. Oh, I see. There are the relationships, and then there are the romantic encounters. Like the romantic encounters, it's whatever. And then you got the Joy Toys. Dark Matter? Where's Dark Matter? Oh, there's some Joy Toys here I didn't realize existed. Gotta fuck them all. Yeah. Off the leash. Oh, okay. I can encounter her during that mission, which I haven't done yet on this playthrough. Okay, just have to remember that. I know, Kitty. Hey, Kitty. Meow. Meow. Oh, you don't want to come. You don't want to be held. You never want to be held. You gotta open the door for this cat. Have I listened to the new Nin album? Not all of it. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Lost boys, shout to all my lost boys. We rowdy, shout to all my lost boys. 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 We rowdy, shout to all my lost boys.
Jack, I learned that my dad's parents spent the Manhattan Project site Washington State. Damn. Hey, happy birthday, R.I.L. Yeah, hail Satan and may all the good things in life happen to you. All right, yeah, I'm gonna be signing off in a little bit here anyway. So you have a good night, Josh.
Still ain't got my marbles, but I got these beats banging out the back of my toy car. Hey, yo, I'm eating Fun Dip right now.
Not giving a fuck.
Let's see. First of the year. Kind of like first of the year. It's got a nice horror-based video. The previous one was Bangarang by Skrillex. This is also Skrillex. This is first of the year.
All I
Oh, which was the character that you were most interested in? All right. That was from 2011. Fuck, this shit's 14 years old. Holy shit. Time flies, man. Time fucking flies. Yeah, we all grow. We all age. It's Raphael. Ha! Well, be careful. He's apparently very bad in bed.
Good not.
You're ace, so it works out. All right. Let's watch a few of these.
Welcome to Safe and Sound. My name is Sergeant Dobbs, and today I'll tell you how to survive a cyber psycho attack. While out shopping, our friend Mr. Puggins suddenly hears screams and gunfire. His first instinct is to run for the nearest exit, but that would be a very bad idea. Your average cyber psycho is equipped with boosted reflexes and automatic weapons, which means outrunning one is no sure thing. So, how can Mr. Puggins stay safe? He should quickly search the area for the nearest ADU, or Automated Defense Unit, and find shelter as close as he can. All ADUs are clearly marked, so you can't miss them. The ADU will activate when the first shots are fired. Its job is to protect civilians and, if possible, neutralize the crazed attacker. Mr. Puggins should stay in cover while the ADU is active. If he's not careful, he could be the victim of friendly fire. Mr. Puggins might also be tempted to call the police, but that's both unnecessary and unwise. The ADU has already notified the authorities of the attack. But more importantly, many cyber psychos have auditory implants, which means they can hear you, even when you whisper. When the police finally arrive at the scene, Mr. Puggins should not speak to them unless spoken to, and should not make any sudden movements. NCPD officers are trained to respond to any unexpected sounds and activity in high-risk situations by using live ammunition. As with the police, if trauma team medics arrive at the scene, Mr. Puggins should not speak to them or approach them. They are only there to extract trauma team policy holders. Similarly, corporate security will only defend their own employees. all others at the scene will be treated as potential obstacles to ensuring client safety. Once the police eliminate the cyber-psycho threat, leave the area as soon as possible. But remember, if the attack occurred in a store or shopping mall, you're likely entitled to a discount or voucher. Don't forget to claim yours. That's all for this episode of Safe and Sound. Stay alive out there. Welcome to Safe and Sound. My name is Sergeant Dobbs, and today I'll tell you how to survive on the streets of Night City. Our pal, Mr. Puggins, has plans to meet up with his friend, Mr. Pugberg. What should he remember before he sets out for the day? Most importantly, never leave home without a weapon. You never know when it might get you out of a tight spot. And before stepping paw outside the apartment, check the NCPD bulletin to see if any shootings have been reported and where. But no matter what the reports say, always steer clear of Pacifica and the North Side Industrial District. These areas don't fall under NCPD jurisdiction. Mr. Puggins is now on his way to meet his friend at a bar in Little China. As it's not too far, he's decided it's safe to walk there. But it's not long before he realizes his doggone mistake. Unless absolutely necessary, you should never walk around Night City. Instead, use the N-Cart Metro or private services such as Combat Cab. Oh boy! Things take another rough turn for Mr. Puggins. It looks like Watson's been temporarily closed off by corporate security forces. But he's in a hurry to meet his friend, so he decides to leap over the barrier. Another mistake. Corporate forces have the right to open fire on any intruders without warning. Instead, Mr. Puggins should call his friend and agree on a new spot to meet. When choosing a new place, Mr. Puggins must make sure to suggest a location that isn't a known meeting place for gangs or other bad guys. At last, Mr. Puggins has reached his friend, Mr. Pugberg. Nice work, fellas. I sure hope they remember my advice on the way home. That's all for this episode of Safe and Sound. Stay alive out there. Welcome to Safe and Sound. My name is Sergeant Dobbs, and today I'll tell you how to live in harmony alongside the Night City Police Department. Our buddy, Mr. Puggins, is on his way to work when he notices a police cruiser flash its lights behind him. But because he's in a rush to an important meeting, Mr. Puggins decides to ignore the police. Better think twice, Mr. Puggins. Under the Safe Streets Act, the NCPD has the right to open fire on any vehicle that refuses to pull over. Let's give him another chance. This time, he promptly pulls to the side of the road and knows to turn off his engine, rest his head against the steering wheel, and place his paws behind his head. As the police officer approaches the vehicle, Mr. Puggins decides he'd like to ask why he's been stopped. Wrong again, Mr. Puggins. It's the police who ask the questions, not you. Remember, never speak or make eye contact with an NCPD officer unless told to do so. The officer tells Mr. Puggins to step out of the vehicle, but he only moves to stand next to the car. That's not gonna cut it. In this situation, you must lie down with your face to the ground and paws behind your head. If you don't do this on your own, the officer will be forced to assist you. Excellent. The officer has finished his search. and everything appears to be in order. Mr. Puggins is free to carry on. But before hitting the road, don't forget to extend a small token of your appreciation for the police officer's service. Always follow this advice to enjoy a
You
safe
have
and
to tip the
problem-free
cops.
relationship with your local law enforcement. That's all for this episode of Safe and Sound. Stay alive out there. Welcome to Safe and Sound. My name is Sergeant Dobbs. Have plans to leave town? Then don't miss this episode. Poor Mr. Puggins has to make a trip outside the city. What should he know beforehand? First and foremost, never leave city limits without at least a week's supply of food, water, and chew-to canisters. Better to be safe than sorry. Second, whenever you can, share the road with someone. And make sure they're well armed, because sometimes bullets can be more valuable than water. Third, remember to check the day's weather forecast for any sandstorm warnings. And last but not least, always be sure to have a valid border pass when you reach city limits. As you can see, the border defense watchtowers made Swiss cheese of our dear, innocent friend, instead of the nomad outlaws trying to invade our city. Speaking of nomads, Mr. Puggins will have to keep a sharp eye out once he enters the Badlands. Out there, he won't have the brave men and women of the NCPD at his back. At the first sign of any nomad activity, Mr. Puggins should head straight back to the safety of the city, or risk becoming vulture kibble in a roadside ditch. Remember, leaving the confines of Night City is not a matter to be taken lightly. If given the chance, always travel by air. That's all for this episode of Safe and
That's
Sound.
not too far-fetched.
Stay
You're a
alive
bank
out
cop?
there.
Oh, I believe it.
Welcome to Safe and Sound. My name is Sergeant Dobbs, and today I'll show you how to feel safe in your own home. Our loyal friend, Mr. Puggins, has just moved into a new apartment. What should he keep in mind? Starting with the basics, he should make sure that he has the latest NCPD certified armored doors and blinds. Don't let your prized possessions fall into the paws of petty thieves. But in the event any criminals do get inside your home, it's always smart to be prepared. That's why Mr. Puggins keeps a weapon in every room, always within arm's reach. And for you folks who consider no price too high for your safety, consider installing your own home turret system to take care of even the nastiest intruders. If you prefer the personal touch, hire a private security guard from a reputable corporation. It appears Mr. Puggins learned the hard way that any old gun for hire could shoot you in the back at the drop of a hat. Also, it goes without saying, a home surveillance system is essential hardware to keep an eye out for suspicious activity. And, of course, Mr. Puggins cannot forget the security of his local micronet. You wouldn't want to give a nefarious netrunner access to your washing machine, would you? Last but not least, invest in a Kevlar vest. With an added layer of protection available at all times, Mr. Puggins no longer fears the occasional stray. Bullet, that is. Now, with everything in place, Mr. Puggins can finally sit back and relax. After all, there's no place like home. That's all for this episode of Safe and Sound. Stay alive out there.
Yeah, I've heard about T-Money. I've had Yeah, I've had friends that have had to tip the cops. Oh boy. It's the future that conservatives. Well, the funny thing is that's the world the conservatives think exists now. You know, that's the world as they think it exists now. You know, they really do believe that the cities are. A lot of them really do believe the cities are like on fire and there's like combat all over the place. Now, not gonna lie, I occasionally hear gunfire. You know, I don't know where it's coming from, but if you're in certain parts of the city, you will hear it. You know, but that's kind of what I'm. Oh yeah, DC cops, Jesus fucking Christ. But this is kind of what I mean by like they have like this overreactive fear response. You know, then again, maybe I'm a mutant. Maybe I'm a mutant. You know. Well, anyway, speaking of a mutant, I'm starting to sweat like a hog. So I should probably get going. So until next time, everybody, Ave Satanas, Disco Inferno, and remember, Satan and I love you all very much. There we go. And we will see you next time, which should be tomorrow around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, I'll see you. I'll see you around. You take care of yourselves. Keep the fire of rebellion fucking primed. Learn about yourself. Know who you are. And I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. I mean, with luck. With a little luck, I'll see